More sniffer dogs and higher fences. Britain's Prime Minister offers his solution to the Calais migrant crisis, although it's met with a wave of criticism. Thousands in Gaza protest the killing of a Palestinian teenager by Israeli troops. It follows an arson attack by extremists in the West Bank, which saw a toddler burned alive. Plus, a 68-year-old pensioner in St Petersburg is accused of killing people and cutting up their bodies for more than a decade. That story's coming up. Midday in Moscow. Thanks for joining us here on RT International. We've got your latest worldwide news headlines. Pressure is building on the UK to help find a solution to the migrant crisis engulfing the French port town of Calais. Thousands of stormed trains heading to Britain, causing delays to services and creating massive traffic jams on both sides of the channel. But the British Prime Minister, in the meantime, he says he's on it.
We're going to put in more fencing, more resources, more sniffer dog teams, more assistance in any way we can in terms of resources.
Well, Cameron's measures to keep migrants out of the UK were branded useless by some and ridiculed by others, who said the Prime Minister is simply fox hunting for migrants. Well, for the Prime Minister himself, it's clear he has to watch his words on this issue. He recently came under fire for describing the migrants camped in Calais as a swarm. RT's Laura Burton-Manley reports.
There has been public outcry in the UK over Prime Minister David Cameron's use of the term swarm to describe the thousands of migrants in the French port of Calais. The incident and the migrant crisis generally has polarised public opinion. One woman tweeted the Prime Minister's language made her feel ashamed to be British, while another person posted they found it ironic considering Britain's history of colonisation. Others were simply baffled by all the fuss, saying the word swarm wasn't offensive. While on the UK's biggest nationalist Facebook group, Britain's First, predictably perhaps the reaction was somewhat more extreme. They offered solutions to the migrant crisis that included flooding the tunnel and shooting trespassers. But in just a few hours' time, the debate would no longer be confined just to the internet. Supporters and opponents of the Calais migrants will gather just down here by the Channel Tunnel. I spoke to some of the organisers of the demos earlier.
We want migrants to know that we stand with them. We want to see a much more positive attitude to migrants. They actually contribute to our economy. They don't take out of our economy. So we want to see the rhetoric that the government are using and the language that they choose to use being made much more carefully and much greater cooperation with the French government to ensure that the people on the other side in Calais are in a safe situation.
So what's your message to the UK government? What do you want them to do about the migrant crisis?
The trouble we've had with people just coming here for the money. Yeah, we need people that can contribute to Britain. Everyone is suffering in Britain right now, absolutely everybody. And bringing other people that cannot contribute does nothing. I just think it's unreasonable and unfair.
Though the opposing activists are deeply divided over what to do about the migrants, they are united in one respect. Both sides are angry over the British government's failure to deal with the crisis.
In the programme today here on RT International, the US military heavily relies on private contractors in its drone campaigns in conflict zones. This according to a brand new report. But as we report later this hour,